What up, guys? I'm here today with a redo of my Payback redo of my Payback preview review and results. Because the last one I was so tired and I could barely talk, so now I'm going to retry now. So at the start of the show, we had two Payback pre-matches. So the first one was Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin, and pretty good match for a pre-show. And these guys were going at it because, of course, Baron Corbin attacked Dolph Ziggler a couple of times. And in my first try of this, I kind of got it wrong, and I said that this was Baron Corbin's debut, pay-per-view debut.
What are you looking at?
And I was wrong, because his pay-per-view debut was at WrestleMania, and he won. His singles pay-per-view debut, should I say. And so Dolph Ziggler rolled up Baron Corbin for the win, and I was pretty mad. I don't know why, because I kind of thought it was his debut pay-per-view match, but it wasn't. So moving on, he rolled him up, should I say? He rolled him up for the win, which kind of happens a lot. But so anyways, the next thing is Kalisto versus Ryback, rematch for the United States Championship from WrestleMania. So Kalisto and Ryback, a really good match for Payback pre-show, and I was really entertained with this. Like, for a pre-show match, yes, like, very good. But of course, Kalisto won. Wasn't bad though. They really tore it down for a pre-show, which I don't know why it was a pre-show match. But anyways, the next, hold up. Oh yeah, the first one for the pay-per-view was, what was it? Hold on. Alright, so we had, it was the Enzo Cast versus the Vaudevillains, and I was like, oh my god, I thought this dude had died. Enzo was supposed to do a backslide out of the ring after Simon Gotch got tagged in, and they were wrestling, and Simon Gotch went to throw out Enzo so he could do the backslide. I mean the baseball slide. And Enzo gets caught on the middle rope with his head and his shoulder caught on the bottom rope. It bangs his head on the mat and then falls out. And Enzo was hurt. He was really hurt. And like, I was worried, and then later on in the show they were like, Enzo is moving and talking and that he only had a slight concussion. And I was like, thank God, but it's still serious. So Enzo, get well soon with that concussion and hope you come back. But moving on, the match was good as well, it lasted too. But moving on, and I should mention, the New Day was sitting outside in the ringside in beanbags eating popcorn and pizza. I was like, can I get some pizza? I want some pizza. I felt so mad that they got pizza and popcorn and onion. But moving on, the next match was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. And these guys fought. Like, this match was amazing. Like, it was everything that you would expected. Sami Zayn flew over the top rope. He did the torpedo DDT We seen capture suplexes, fall away pile driver. I mean package pile drivers. We seen all that you could see, and then Sami Zayn went for a hell of a kick. Kevin Owens caught him with a super kick, threw him for a pop up power bomb. 1, 2, 3, and it was over. And Kevin Owens got on the microphone after the win, but attacked Sami Zayn before it and threw him out, and was like, since this is all over with, I'm going to challenge for my Intercontinental Championship, which followed up for the Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz versus Cesaro, and it was a really good match. The Miz, I don't know what is going on with The Miz. He's putting out some pretty good matches. So him and Cesaro had a good match. Had a pretty good match, and they kind of, it was like really, it was good, should I say? And at the end, Cesaro has the Miz in a sharpshooter, and then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is on commentary, and then Sami Zayn comes out and attacks Cesaro. I mean Kevin Owens, and they're fighting on the apron, and the ref turns around to attend to that, and Cesaro has Miz's sharpshooter, and he taps out. And the ref doesn't see it, and then Cesaro pushes Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens off the apron, and The Miz wins by roll-up. The second roll-up of the night, should I say. And then Kevin Owens, then Cesaro attacks The Miz, and Kevin Owens attacks Cesaro, and then Sami Zayn goes to attack Kevin Owens, but gets caught with another pop-up powerbomb. And Cesaro holds the title up high. And then he walks away. So up next was Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. And this was the fourth match. And it was the fourth match. And these guys, oh my god, it was a great match as well. Dean Ambrose flew through the ropes with a suicide dive. Chris Jericho hit the Lion Salt. He did the Walls of Jericho. We seen that awesome elbow from the top rope, and by Ambrose. And Chris Jericho I already said that Chris Jericho put Dean Ambrose in the Walls of Jericho. And then he tried to do it again, and Ambrose caught him with a amazing dirty deeds. He was like picking him up, and then dirty deeds for the 1, 2, 3, and it was over. So Ambrose gets the win, and today I find out on Instagram that Chris Jericho retired. And I was like, what? What's going to happen to Ambrose? And I'm watching Raw right now, and now he's doing the Ambrose Asylum, which I guess is why they did this. So Chris Jericho could retire with a talk show on. And and so he retired, and I was like, what? But then I was like, okay. So moving on in the night, the next match was Natalya versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. But I was like, okay. And the match was good. It was amazing. Charlotte had Ric Flair, and Natty had Bret the Hitman Hart. And just because Bret Hart was out there, they had to do something with the Montreal Screwjob. So Natty gets Charlotte gets Natty in the sharpshooter, and of course Lil Nate, what was his name? James Robinson, Charles Robertson, Lil Nate to do it, and makes the Chicago Screwjob. I was like, of course Lil Nate would do it. is Ric Flair's personal referee in WCW, and I was like, okay, this is funny. So Charlotte wins by Chicago Screwjob, and then we move on to the decision of Mr. McMahon either chooses Shane and Stephanie McMahon. And who does he choose? They both talk for a little while. They all three talk for a little while, for like 5-10 minutes. And then he's like, you know what? How about you both run Raw and figure it out? So we have 2 runs for Raw. Now moving on to the main event. Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. Oh my god, what a hell of a match. But Roman Reigns would kick out, he would reverse, counter, everything. He was on his game tonight. I don't like Roman Reigns a lot. I'll tell you that. But AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler ever. I'm glad he's in the WWE because of all time, any company, he is my favorite wrestler. So they tear it down, and then AJ Styles throws Roman out of the ring, and Roman's hanging on the table, and then he hits the phenomenal forearm, and they both go flying through the table. And AJ Styles gets in the ring, and it's counted out. Roman retains the title, but AJ Styles wins by countout. But Shane McMahon is like, well, you know what? In the old era, that would have happened, but in the new era, we're not going to have that happen like this. So they restart the match. Roman Reigns accidentally hits AJ Styles in the groin, and AJ Styles wins by disqualification, and Roman Reigns retains. This time, Stephanie comes out trying to one-up Shane, and he's like, I'm going to agree with my brother. Let's restart the match, no disqualification. So you got no disqualification, you got no countout. What does that mean? Bullet Club. The Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, attack Roman Reigns. And then, I don't know why it took the Usos so long to to take out Gallows and Carl Anderson. They come out like 15 minutes after he's attacking them. After they're attacking him. And then AJ Styles goes on the top rope and Roman Reigns throws him out onto Carl Anderson, Gallows, and the Usos. And then Roman flies over the top rope onto him. I'm like, oh my god, this is so amazing. But AJ Styles gets out of the way and does a phenomenal forearm from the barricade. Throws him in the ring, tries to do it again. Roman ducks under and hits a spear for the 1, 2, 3, and it was over. And these two just tore it down. Match of the night. Still don't like Roman, but it was match of the night. I kind of have to give this pay-per-view. I didn't give it a rating last time, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Kind of because the... Well, actually, it actually was not that bad. So I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10. Just because it was really good. And because Roman retained. That's just what I have to say. I really don't like Roman, so kind of 8 out of 10 for that. So, tell me what you thought about this pay-per-view. Leave it down in the comments, and I will get to that. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video.